you're down by 8. It's 4th and goal from the 10-yard line. 3 minutes left in regulation. Do you kick the field goal to potentially go down by 5 or go for it?
How many timeouts do I have left?
3 timeouts.
3 timeouts.
3 timeouts.
On today's Part of My Take, I lost my voice again, but I didn't talk for an entire day, so this is the best it sounded in 2 days. We're going to talk World Cup. We're going to talk college football playoffs. We're going to talk Monday Night Football. We have Hot Seat Cool Throne. We have a Kevin O'Connell interview that Jake did all my questions for me as I sat behind him. PFT ran the interview. Great interview. We have Kenny Pickett, one question with a quarterback. Guys on Chicks. This is the grit episode for me personally. Great episode coming, and it's brought to you by Game Time. Game Time is the ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. If you haven't given Game Time a shot yet, don't know what you're waiting for. You guys are going to love this app. We've been using Game Time all year. We've gone to a bunch of games, concerts, everything. Download the Game Time app. Go to the account tab to create a login. Redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by Game Time, the exclusive ticketing app of Barstool Sports. Today is Wednesday, November 30th, and I know my voice is gone, but the lads are through. We're through.
It's coming home. It's coming home. We did it. What a group result for the lads against Iran, one of the greatest soccer teams in the country. It was in the world. It was a statement win for the boys. We really won 2-0, but they only counted 1. FIFA was rigged. They were out to get us. And Christian Pulisic, if you're out there, thank you, sir, for sacrificing both your testicles for the lads to move on to the knockout stage.
I can't imagine having to go to the hospital for a nut shot is fun, but instant legend. I mean, he already was. Everyone already was like, hey, this guy's, the best player, going to be a legend. Instant legend, scoring a big goal in a big situation. We did play a little bit, not to get too analytical because everyone knows we're big soccer heads, but it felt like we were trying not to lose in the entire second half and basically not doing anything aggressive, weird substitutions. I don't even know these guys' names. I saw someone tweet that. I was like, yeah, I agree, dude. Weird substitutions, bad set pieces, all these things I've read. I agree with all of them.
I didn't mind the set pieces. The substitutions, there were some head scratchers there from Berhalter. For example, Gio Reyna, he hasn't really played at all. I hear he's good. His dad was good. Why isn't he playing? He should be out there instead of these other guys that aren't Gio Reyna. It was one of those situations where it reminded me like we're kind of like the Ravens. So we get out to these leads, and then we just stop playing offense altogether.
Yeah.
And then we go to prevent defense. That's the analysis I'm going to do. When you go to prevent defense, the only thing it does, it prevents yourself from winning. So, Greg, if you're listening, against the Dutch or the Netherlands or the Holland or whatever you want to call them, don't park the bus.
Don't.
Keep your foot on the gas.
Be free. Live free. Have the American spirit flowing through you. It was a cool moment. It was like, I mean, obviously we work at a sports company, so everyone was watching, but it felt like a lot of people were watching at work today, like one of those moments everyone's going to get behind. We haven't had one of those in a while because they weren't in the last World Cup. I'm thinking like, when's the last time? Maybe hockey with TJ Oshie. Like felt like the last time. It felt like everyone was rooting for the same team. It was fun. We get through. We one of the top 16 teams in the world. Can we say that now officially?
Yeah, officially we can. That's why they play the games, Big Cat. We were undefeated in group play. How about that?
Yeah. We didn't give up a single goal in regular play because we gave up a penalty kick goal.
Yeah, that was a bullshit goal too. And I mean, our defense is pretty good. That much is clear. It's just about, like, I don't know, keep your foot on the gas. That's all I can say. It's because every time we score, I'm like, this is awesome. We're going to score like 5 more goals. And then we stop attacking and we stop possessing the ball. And all the real soccer heads out there are listening, and they're like, these guys fucking know what they're talking about. This is
Yeah.
awesome. This
Dude,
is awesome.
I read
so,
it.
yeah, you're welcome. We've been watching a lot of footy.
I read someone being like, why are we subbing these guys in and not these guys? And I was like, dude, retweet.
Yeah, I mean, the greatest part about the World Cup is it's kind of like the NCAA tournament in that way, where America can all take off work at the same time and watch the same thing on television. That's really what I'm looking for in terms of camaraderie amongst my countrymen. I would like to be watching the same thing on TV as they're watching on TV at the same time.
And it's also like the NCAA tournament in that I would say those are the two sports with the best crowd reaction shots. The crowd reaction shots of like the agony with who was it? Was South Korea playing the other morning, or did it maybe this morning? And like the agony the fans had, like there's just something about the World Cup. I always just think back about that dude in fucking Brazil who was holding the trophy, that old man just crying as Germany shit down their throat. Like something about the World Cup, like it's that one, and then Fluke Girl with Villanova. Like you have these moments, or the Northwestern kid crying. Like you have these moments in the World Cup and March Madness that are so ingrained in your brain of fan reactions, not just plays, fan reactions.
Yeah, it is great, and the costumes in the crowd are always fantastic. It's good to see the U.S. move on and be like the top 16 in soccer, even though, as I've been saying, this is not our year. You know what? I'm calling it right now. This is mission accomplished.
Yeah.
It's a win. Anything
Job well
else on
done.
top of that is gravy. We won the World Cup today by advancing out of the group stage because it was never supposed to be us this year anyways. In 4 years, that's when the golden generation enters there. What's the adult stage of an insect? Like right now we're in the cocoon, right?
We're a butterfly.
We're a chrysalis.
Yeah.
And yeah, there you go. And in 2026, that's when the boys spread their wings and become a butterfly. And I'm guaranteeing personally a United States World Cup championship in 2026.
If we're leading at any point against Netherlands, that's basically just give us the trophy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all gravy.
I don't know much about the Netherlands. I know that they're large people, and I know that they love drugs and hookers. So they're completely opposite from me in every single way.
And also their one dude, the lefty, Brian Van Robben or whatever. He doesn't play there anymore.
Persie?
Yeah, he doesn't play there anymore. But remember him for like 100 years? He was so nice with it.
Oh yeah,
What was
and
his
then
name?
Cruyff. Holland had the guy that invented kicking the ball behind your own leg. His name is Cruyff, and they named the move after him.
Aaron Robin, remember him? The dude who's he was bald. He would do like one quick move and hit it with his left. I'm pretty sure. I think he actually like is living out the perfect dream of an ex-athlete. I think there was a video of him. He plays in like the 6th division in Netherlands now, and just dominates people.
He's like the Chris Chelios of the Netherlands.
Ichiro of the Netherlands. Okay, so that's World Cup. Let's talk some college football.
Before we get to college football talk, let's talk about Norton VPN. The holidays. It's easy to get wrapped up in the spirit of giving, except you might actually be giving away a lot more than you mean to. This time of year, we all tend to do more things online, like browsing, sharing, and shopping for gifts and travel. But more online time can also mean more of your personal info is out there getting exposed. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect your identity during the holiday season and all year round. And if you do ever become a victim of identity theft, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But with LifeLock by Norton, you've got identity theft protection all wrapped up, unlike that pile of presents you've probably got sitting in your closet. Join LifeLock today and save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com/PMT. That's LifeLock.com/PMT for 25% off.
We have the college football rankings out before championship Saturday. We can also talk a little bit about rivalry week. Michigan emasculated Ohio State for the 2nd straight year. And now we have Georgia, Michigan, TCU, USC. That's your 4. And then outside the 4 is Ohio State and Alabama. Now, PFT, I love debating college football on Twitter. It's one of my favorite things in the world to do. I got into that debate because I couldn't talk all day. I understand how it works. I understand that if USC gets blown out on Friday night against Utah, Ohio State will probably sneak in. I understand that TCU, if they get blown out, they'd probably be out. What I'm going to say, though, is I think it should be the 4 that are in right now. I think it should be those 4. You shouldn't get penalized for playing an extra game while the other people are sitting on their couch. I would love for it to be this 4. It's a great 4. New colors, new conferences. We haven't seen the Pac-12 in forever. TCU, new colors, like all these things. It would be great. And you also have the Michigan-Georgia. Could that be a clash in the title? I would love it to be these 4 right now. Give it to me.
So I don't really understand how you can take anybody out because I'm looking at the rankings right now. Let's say TCU loses. And TCU, they are the one team that I think the committee's looked at basically all year, just hoping, like, give me a reason to take you guys out. They're itching. They want any excuse to drop TCU out. But what's going to happen? Are you going to put Ohio State in at that point?
So I actually think TCU, I would make the argument TCU should be safe because they are undefeated. They've already beaten Kansas State unless they lose by like 70, whatever, and everyone gets injured. The most likely scenario for Ohio State to get in would be USC losing. That would be the second time they've lost to Utah. Then Ohio State sneaking in because the committee has made it pretty clear they're never going to take a 2-loss team ahead of a 1-loss team. So that would then fit the bill of USC has 2 losses, Ohio State has 1. You swap them, good to go.
Yeah, I guess I could see that, and the committee would nut themselves over a Georgia-Ohio State matchup as well,
and a potential Michigan-Ohio State national
championship game. That would be pretty sweet. I just love how the guy is named Boo. That's in charge of everything. That's a perfect name, like a perfect reminds me of that guy Hootie that used to run Augusta and the Masters. Like, you need a Southern guy named Boo that's in charge of college football rankings. You're never going to argue really with a guy named Boo.
Yeah, and they all probably are sitting in the same conference room at a really nice Hilton in Dallas or something. They've been eating croissants all day, and they're like, "Boo, don't make us look stupid, dude." And Boo's like, I got this.
They knew exactly who they were going to put in. It was a very easy Final Four. I think Boo just rounded the boys up and was like, we've got this ballroom that they set aside, shrimp cocktails coming in at noon, and then we got some beef Wellington coming in at 5:30. So let's really draw this out so that we can get all the free meals that we can have. Because the catering's off the hook for this thing. Yeah. So instead of debating which teams you think could drop out, because I think these Final Four are probably the right choice no matter what. Alabama really fucked everything up by losing to LSU for us, because then we could have a debate.
Tennessee really fucked up losing to South Carolina because Tennessee fans do have a fair gripe not being ranked ahead of Alabama right now because they beat them on the field. So I'll just shout them out for that. But yeah, to me it's essentially, I wish it was just these 4. That's what I'm rooting for. I understand how it's most likely going to play out if TCU, which is not right, if TCU or USC, which USC you can sell me on a little bit more, loses, Ohio State will probably sneak in.
USC loses, put Tulane in. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, Willie Fritz got the boys going.
You can look at the top 12 right now instead of doing the debate of who's going to drop out, because I do think you're right. I think these are going to be the Final Four. We could just play the bracket game right now and just imagine what games would be. So it would be Penn State against Clemson.
Yeah,
and then the winner of that gets Georgia.
That's where I am very much in favor of the 12-team playoffs, just because I want more college football. Yeah. Home games would be awesome. But then when you look at the bracket, I don't want to see Clemson play any more football. I don't. I'm so sick of they're just not a good team that Mass is a good team. I see the Penn State Clemson one, I'm like, oof. That one's a bummer. I don't really want to tune into that one.
Well, you can look at these teams in 2 different ways. There are a lot of teams that are in this top 12 or even in the top 25, and you can say, that team's back. This was an awesome season for them because they finished where they finished. And then there are other teams where it's man, you fucking suck, Clemson. You're number 9 in the country. Big disappointment for them. But then we'd have Ohio State, Tulane. I would love to see that game. Yep. Tennessee, Kansas State. I think Tennessee whomps Kansas State.
People are asking, I have seen people in the media saying, is Kansas State the most disrespected team in the rankings right now? They are the only 3-loss team in the top 10. So would you think they're getting disrespected?
I would not think that they're getting.
Okay, I'd agree. I'd agree.
Wait, Big Cat, did you say that they got 1 loss, right?
No, they have 3 losses. They're actually the highest ranked 3-loss team, but some people in the media are saying they're being disrespected.
Okay, yeah. Well, it would make sense if they had 1 loss, but they lost 3 times.
Yeah.
And then you've got Alabama, Utah. That actually, I think that's my favorite of the opening round matchups right
That
there.
one would be great.
Alabama,
Yes.
Utah would be sick, especially if they played it in Utah, because that's just a funner place to play a football game.
And the home games would be so much fun to watch. I'm all into it and on it. I'm trying to think what else. Like the Saturday, Michigan doing what they did to Ohio State. It's crazy when you think about it. Like, we have always been Harbaugh guys, but we're also honest that we had doubts. Everyone had doubts. It felt like Jim Harbaugh was never going to beat Ohio State. And the patience that Michigan showed and Jim Harbaugh showed for taking less money and being like, I'm eventually going to get there where I just build this bully. And no one has ever been more right in the history of the world than when Jim Harbaugh said Ryan Day was born on third and thought he hit a triple. Because he took Urban Meyer's machine that dominated Michigan every single year, and he basically put it back 15 years in a matter of 2. Like, they're back before Tressel. Like, it's crazy how that happened so fast. And it was all because Ryan Day just showed up and was like, oh, I'm just gonna keep running the machine how it's run. And it's like, you don't have Urban's special sauce.
Yeah, well, Urban special sauce has been spread all over Columbus, Ohio. And I think it's not like something that you can just replicate and keep doing the exact same thing, because what makes coaches like Urban Meyer so good at coaching college football is they figure out new and innovative ways to be weasels and cheat every single year.
Right.
You have to if you're cheating the same way that you cheated last year, you're actually falling way, way, way behind, and you're getting closer to getting caught too.
And I also will say this about Urban Meyer. He got dudes from like Florida, California, and Texas to actually care about the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry. Like, when Urban was going at Ohio State, they cared, and they cared to embarrass Michigan. Now it's flipped, where Michigan, they broke their will in the fourth quarter. Ohio State didn't want to be there. And it's I don't know, it's just something about it. Like, Harbaugh's just tapped into that button. I'm trying to think what other, South Carolina, Shane Beamer beating Clemson.
Well,
I'm trying to think what other big
I think
games.
the big takeaway from these last 2 weeks of college football is, what's that Skip Bayless tweet? Like, I was right originally, and I was only wrong about being right too soon.
Yeah.
That Spencer Rattler and Bo Nix are both going to be awesome NFL quarterbacks.
And Spencer Rattler basically was awesome for 2 games.
Yeah.
But great last 2 games. Like, he was stupendous for these last 2 games. But
like,
yeah,
Spencer
you're right.
Rattler probably made himself millions of dollars in these last 2 games, because I don't think Spencer Rattler has ever had his stock at a lower point than it was like around Halloween.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I could see this guy going first 2 rounds.
And the Bo Nix, Oregon, that was such a perfect rivalry weekend game. I love that last weekend right after Thanksgiving, because Oregon was up, I think they were up 34-10, and I was watching the game, and it everything that you could have to implode, they had all the bad things happen, including a punt from almost their own end zone where the punter just freaked out and just dropped the ball and was like, I don't want to do this. It was just the most insane comeback for Oregon State, but all of it, and then LSU shitting the bed. LSU could have been the first 2-loss team to ever play their way into the national champion or the playoff, and they go to Texas A&M against a corpse and get smoked. It was crazy.
The Texas A&M thing was insane to me. And I saw a stat the other day about Texas A&M, how they actually haven't had any good seasons since Johnny Manziel.
No.
Ever. They have not even had a blip on the radar where it's Texas A&M is officially back. So Jimbo Fisher is a fucking wizard when it comes to stealing money from people.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that about him. And then the other big news that we have, Hugh Freeze is back. And I for one am very excited to see Hugh Freeze, an all-time shady guy in college football, get back in the SEC, because that's where he belongs. It truly is.
It's so great. it's so great that he was like, everyone deserves second chances. It's like, Hugh, you had like 15 chances. But yes, you're right. Everyone does deserve a second chance. Also, if you aren't familiar with how the whole Hugh Freeze thing went down at Ole Miss, it's maybe the best SEC football story because Houston Nutt, who got FOIA'd when he was at Ole Miss, Arkansas, he got fired for illegal shit he did, and then he was suing, and they FOIA'd Hugh Freeze's number, and they basically saw him essentially hitting up all these prostitutes and being like, hey, what's going on here? No, Houston Nutt was at Ole Miss. He was at Arkansas before, but it was the Ole Miss. He was going after Ole Miss, and in his lawsuit, they were like searching stuff, and they came across Hugh Freeze hitting up prostitutes, and they basically got him. So the former coach got the current coach, and then Hugh Freeze basically was like, oh, I misdialed the numbers of some prostitutes a few times. And then they searched into it more, and it was like, you can't possibly misdial a prostitute this many times, Hugh. Like, this is all you were doing.
Listen, I'm going to wait till all the facts come out before I condemn Hugh Freeze. He might have misdialed. It was only, I think it was like 30 calls to escort services. And then he goes to Liberty University, which is the perfect place for him to end up. He might have been fucking one of the Falwell's wives. We don't know. But then now he's getting to go back. And now it's like the perfect way to describe that era of SEC football and the head coaches stabbing each other in the back would be like if you took the show Billions and just filled it with characters from Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
And they were all like stabbing each other in the back, getting away with all sorts of shit that I'm sure that we don't know about. I'm so glad that he's back at Auburn because he's one of those characters that when you put him in an environment like Auburn where it is literally win at all costs, we are going to do everything that we can to we're going to break our neck looking the other way for you, Hugh Freeze. He's going to get away with all sorts of crazy shit there.
And the real reason why he got hired and the reason why Auburn was able to look past all this stuff, which I always am like, yeah, if he wins football games. Hugh Freeze got hired at Auburn, and he immediately becomes the only SEC coach who has beaten Nick Saban twice.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
That's it. That's why he got hired. He's beaten him multiple times.
He also says that he covets coverage of the Auburn program. So he's currently coveting us. I've never been coveted before, but he made like a statement today. He was like, I'm coveting the press because I really want you guys to help me out and be on my side. So it just feels nice to be coveted.
Well, remember, Hugh Freeze also told a recruit once that he basically likened himself to Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Because he was recruiting someone. He was recruiting a kid, and the kid was like, what's going on with all this stuff? And they're like, they put Jesus Christ on a cross too. And then the recruit told a media person, and then Hugh Freeze denied it and basically was like, this recruit's lying. Why would a recruit lie about something like that when they have nothing to all they have is to lose? Like, you basically get your scholarship pulled, right? And then they had tape of it and they played it for Hugh Freeze, and he's like, oh yeah, I did say that.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jesus Christ hung out with prostitutes too. That's just a fact.
It's so
Read your Bible.
Great. The whole thing's great. All right, anything else college football? I mean, we talked to Luke Fickell, like, I couldn't be happier. I'm over the moon. I also think we might have to go to Grit Week Madison because I talked to the new strength and conditioning coach at Madison, and let me just tell you guys, I thought of you, PFT, when he texted me. Hold on, I'm going to find it. He said that on Fridays in the summer, what do? They do primetime guns and squat fest. So
hell yeah.
I think we got to go. We got to go.
I'm down to go to Squat Fest.
Squat Fest. He said Squat Fest has DJ lights, smoke machines, and heavy ass squats. So he makes it like a rave. Squat Fest.
It's like a club. I love that. He turns the gym into a club on Fridays. That's a great way to relate to millennials. They should have like a TikTok station in the curl. Like if you're doing curls, get a TikTok out there real quick. And then just post that so that everybody can see how jacked up you look.
But yeah,
this is how you relate to the youth of America these days.
And he's a great strength and conditioning coach. Luke Fickell obviously brought him from Cincinnati, made guys pros. Like, it's bad that I'm this happy because I know that bad things always happen when I get this happy, but it can't be a better hire in my mind. Like, outside of Nick Saban.
He said that we're going to focus on the 300-mile radius around the state of Wisconsin, which I like. He's doing the Barry Alvarez, like, let's get as many fat people as we can. Like, work with what you have. And when you look at what he had at Cincinnati and the 3-star recruits that he had that he turned into NFL players, now he's going to be able to get like more 4 stars, 5 stars, and it's going to be awesome. But he's a good hire. I'm very happy for you.
It's not even like Wisconsin will never get many 5 stars, but Luke Fickell is like what Wisconsin does well on steroids in terms of he can get the developmental part where it's like 3 and 4, 3 stars, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, making those guys NFL players. I think I saw someone had the stat. Wisconsin has the 8th most active NFL players right now. Like, that's the type of program it is. Never going to recruit at a Michigan, Ohio State level, but getting guys, coaching them up, getting them into Squat Fest.
Yeah, Squat Fest sounds incredible.
Strength and conditioning.
I walked in on Hank this morning in our studio. Hank was having a private squat fest. Hank was ripping squats on the machine. I came in and he stopped what he was doing. He goes, "Hey, how much do you think you can squat?" And I was like, I don't know, man. I gotta go.
He was getting ready for his big dozen trivia night in Boston. That's where he is right now.
He had to have that ass popping tonight. Actually, what they should do at Wisconsin, they should turn the offensive line. They should give them like a private cafeteria and just have it be that grocery store section with the hundreds of thousands of frozen pizzas that went viral a couple weeks ago. That should be like just a trough of frozen pizzas. If you come to play at Wisconsin and play offensive line, we're going to pack like 75 pounds onto each thigh.
So, just because you just brought it up, offensive line pizza, Slice is in. They're going to help us. Slice, one of our sponsors.
Slice
is going to help us. So we're going to do the pizza party coming soon.
It's great that you mentioned that right now, Big Cat, because earlier today I spent $1,200 on pizza. So I didn't know you were working on that.
Was it just today? Well, I was going to do it today. I heard from Slice today, and I can't talk.
No, I called
so I couldn't
up
tell you.
I called up the pizza place today, and I was like, yes, I would like $1,200 worth of pizzas. So,
all right, so I'll give you $600. I matched.
Well, no. So I said that I do 20. You matched, and then Ben DiNucci, Gucci DiNucci reached out, and he said, I want to match 2 boys. So Gucci DiNucci owes us $400.
He better get that to us.
Yeah.
What is Billy? Your face?
You're spending $60 each pie for 20 pies for $1,200.
Listen, Billy. Here, let me explain to you how math breaks down. Okay, I got 60 pizzas. I got 15 cheesy breads, extra sauces, and I got 20 assorted 2-liter sodas sprinkled in there. Because like, what's a pizza party without 2-liter sodas? And then, because I'm a nice guy, I put a $200 tip on there for the delivery driver.
That math works.
All right, so shout out Slice for hitting us up. What I'll do is I'll have Slice, maybe we'll do a pizza party for Wisconsin when they do Squat Fest this year.
Okay, that works.
Yeah. I mean, you need some food for Squat Fest. So count me in on that. I'm buying pizza for Squat Fest.
And I'll match.
Before we do, thank you. And then we'll have like Scott Tolzien.
Yeah.
That'll be perfect. All right. Before we do Hot Seat Cool Throne, should we talk a little Monday Night Football and how sad it is watching the Indianapolis Colts and Matt Ryan play football?
Dude, it was really sad. And I was sad watching it, but then I started to feel really bad for him because Troy Aikman had something against Matt Ryan. I don't know what they have against each other in the past, but like Troy, the natural reaction should have been like, and you hate to see this from Matt Ryan, who's had such a great career. But Troy Aikman was like, they need to figure out how to do something besides pass the ball because they're unable to run an offense equipped for the year 2022.
There was a moment where I was like, Troy, what's up with that? But then I think it was like halfway through the second quarter when they're like, and that was the first pass completion for the Colts or something like that. I was like, I guess he's being fair. Like they are that bad.
But he was like mad. He was like mad at Matt Ryan, which doesn't make sense. It's like getting mad at an elderly dog because it's taking too long to go up the steps.
Yeah.
It's like, be patient.
Yeah, it is. Like, let's not pick on him. He thought, remember Matt Ryan, he said in the offseason that he was the missing piece for a Super Bowl in Indy. Like this isn't going well. Let's be nice. Everyone makes bad decisions. Let's just be nice about it.
Yeah, don't be a dick. That's all I'm asking. And at the end of the game, I'm going to say something controversial. I don't mind what Jeff Saturday did at the end of the game. I don't mind it because he had 3 timeouts, and if that drive had kept going in, he probably would have used them at that point, right? There was still time on the clock. How long does it take to run a play anyways? Like 5 seconds, 6. He had enough timeouts that he could have, if his back was against the wall at the end of the game, I think they would have been okay. But that still doesn't mean that all of America wasn't screaming at their televisions like, dude, use a timeout right now.
You know what it was? So he said afterwards, if you missed the end of the game, which I do not blame anyone who turned this game off, the Colts were down 7, driving, 50 seconds left. It was 2nd down. Matt Ryan scrambled, got tackled. 50 seconds, so the clock's running. They're on like the 35. They have all 3 timeouts. They didn't call a timeout. They get back on to the line. Next play, they do a running play that goes for like 2 yards. Then they call a timeout. So like 25 seconds went off the clock. And what PFTI kind of agree is like Jeff Saturday said afterwards, he's like, time wasn't really feeling of the essence at the moment because we had all 3 timeouts. That was one of those moments, though. It was less about the time. It was more like, do you guys know what you're doing? Because it was a Matt Ryan scramble to a Jonathan Taylor run. So it was like, wait, are you guys, what quarter is it? What's the situation? So it was more like you should use a timeout to like figure out what your best play is, not a timeout because you need to call a timeout.
Yeah, so the rush that they had, it was like Matt Ryan scrambled up the middle, dove close to the first down. Then they handed off to Taylor. At that point, you assumed that the next play after Matt Ryan's scramble was going to be something that would kill the clock. Right. That would stop the clock at that point, but it wasn't. And I was confused for a second because when he dove, it looked like he made it past the sticks after he hit the ground. And I went back, I reviewed the rule book. Did you know that it's the same as sliding when a quarterback dives head first now? They changed the rule in 2018. And so you're giving yourself up when you start your dive. I don't know how that works, though. So if you're like doing a Heineke and you're diving towards the end zone, like, does that mean that?
I like that you read the rule book and you're like, wait, this is going to screw my guy Heineke up.
Well, no, I mean, just in general, if you're diving and you're reaching out, that stops the play from the point where you start to dive.
Well, no, I think that's, if you're reaching for the goal line, it might be different. Well, you still have to go down. So when Heineke jumps, he's like in the air, right?
I don't know. I don't know how this works because then I looked up an old article from Pro Football Talk, and Florio was like, watch out, this rule is going to screw some people. And then 4 months later, he wrote another one being like, see, I told you this rule was going to screw people over. So I don't know what's going on. But all I know is that when Matt Ryan dove, for a second, I was like, he might have the first down here. I think Matt Ryan might have been playing under like 2016 rules too, inside his own head.
I also think they should change the rule. When a quarterback slides, it should be where their feet end up. Like, no one should get to touch them. It's where their feet end up. So if they do a really good slide, the ball's spotted where their feet end up.
And I think that defenders should be allowed to slide into the quarterback feet first, too.
Yes, yes. Feet to feet.
Foot to foot contact,
yeah,
absolutely.
Foot to foot.
Because like that way you're taking the headshots out of the game, which is it's the dangerous part.
Or they could kick their feet mid-slide. So
where their feet end up, they spin around,
Yeah, where they're like almost breakdancing.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great idea. You know, one of the only parts that I didn't like about what Jeff Saturday was doing at the end of the game was he doesn't seem to really talk that much to his quarterback.
No.
It seems like somebody else is in charge, and he's just kind of like on the sidelines at the window dress. It seems like he's just watching the game with a really good pair of seats.
Yeah, he's kind of like when Caleb was the director of morale for UNC.
Yeah.
He's there for the vibes.
Yeah, he's not doing a whole lot of coaching.
Right.
He's just kind of observing. The other note that I had was Kenny Pickett's good, and that Pickens is probably the one wide receiver that I think could catch any ball thrown. He's got the widest catch radius. You remember when they had like Chad Ochocinco on Sports Science, and it was like his catch radius is as wide as an African elephant. That's kind of what George Pickens is working with.
Okay, so Kenny Pickett's coming up, and I agree he's good. We talked to him about that. George Pickens, incredible catches. He's got to figure out how to do the easy ones, though. Because I feel like all the easy ones he tries to make hard. You know what I mean?
He goes to one hand a lot.
Yeah, like he's like, dude, just like some of them just can be routine catches, and some of them you don't have to like. He had that one where he was diving and his hands were all screwed up. It's like, what are you doing? But he is like he's going to be a very, very good wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Should we do hot seat, cool throne? Anything else? I can't.
I just got a notice on my phone. It looks like I'm 1 for 1 on my flex of the year. Not to brag, Jake.
Hell yes.
You called Dolphins Chargers?
I think that's the one that I called. Yeah. And then we're trying to figure out whether or not
I called Eagles Giants, but I said it was getting flex, so I'm trying to debate on whether or not I get some credit or not.
Oh, that's the worst part about that Colts game too, is we get to watch them on Sunday night as well.
Yep. Although, did you guys see the ratings from the Cowboys Giants?
Oh, dude, the Cowboys always do crazy ratings.
I know. They did like double the U.S. England game, which just shows how insane
people get
football power is.
People always get mad at like ESPN, and I get it, or they sometimes get mad at us. They're like, "Why are you talking about LeBron all the time?" It's like, guess what? Like the Cowboys, LeBron, the Yankees, these things always play. It's just they do. I don't think that's all that should be talked about, but I understand why like they lead first take with it every week.
Yeah, so. I mean, yeah, Cowboys put asses in seats. I still get bored with them though. Like
no, of course, I do
I'm
too.
Sick of the Cowboys. I really am. But I guess they get more average viewers to watch, so that's why they put it on.
Okay, let's do
not like us, not us exceptional viewers. Our views should count for more.
Yes. Let's do hot seat, cool throne, and then we will get to Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Vikings, with Jake asking my questions for me and Kenny Pickett.
Hot Seat Cool Throne is going to be brought to you by our great friends over at Helix Sleep. Helix Sleep is a premium mattress brand that provides tailored mattresses based on your unique sleep preferences. Everybody's unique and everyone sleeps differently. That's why Helix has several different mattress models to choose from, each designed for specific sleep positions and feel preferences. They've got models that have memory foam layers to provide optimal pressure relief if you sleep on your side. They have models with a more responsive foam to cradle your body for essential support in stomach and back sleeping positions. Plus, enhanced cooling features to keep you from overheating at night. And if your spine needs some extra TLC, they got you. Every Helix mattress has a hybrid design combining individually wrapped steel coils in the base with premium foam layers on top. It's the perfect combination of comfort and support. So how will you know which Helix mattress works best for you and your body? Well, you can take the Helix Sleep Quiz right now and find your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes. I took the Helix Sleep Quiz, and I got matched with the Helix Twilight mattress because I sleep on my side, and also I recently discovered that I don't like a soft mattress. It hurts my back sometimes. I like a more firm mattress. I learned that about myself. Now I wake up in the morning feeling great because I've got the Helix Twilight mattress, and they told me what I needed to make my sleep optimal by using the Sleep Quiz on Helix. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/take. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
Okay, hot seat, cool throne, PFT.
Yeah, my hot seat is shoplifters because The Rock went to the store that he used to steal a candy bar from every day, he said. And to make up for his past transgressions, he bought every single candy bar that they had in the store. And at this point, I regret to inform you that I think I'm out on The Rock. Ooh. I think I'm done with The Rock's. First of all, I haven't gotten a call from him about the XFL, so that's number one. Number two is he seems like he's turned his entire life into a living, breathing Upworthy headline. Remember that website?
Yeah.
It's like touching this boy that used to steal candy bars bought the entire store now. It's like, number one, that's probably not the same guy that owned the store when you were growing up. And number two, like what does this prove that you're buying every single thing except it's a cool video that you can put out?
Listen, I know that my guy Stone Cold's maybe gone through some stuff, but that's why I've always been a Stone Cold guy. Because he's not doing cheap meal pictures and being like, look, I took my mom to, on a private plane around the world. He's just fucking drinking beers at his ranch, maybe with money problems. I don't know. but he's living life how an ex-wrestler should.
This is the difference between Stone Cold and The Rock. Stone Cold would go back to that store and hijack the entire shipment of candy bars in a semi-trailer and then drive it to Mexico and live on the beach eating nothing but Milky Ways for the next month.
He would drive it to Connecticut and fucking stick him down Vince McMahon's mouth and be like, Vince, you piece of shit. Yeah. You're such a pussy for leaving the WWF.
He would force feed Vince McMahon candy bars until Vince McMahon got fat.
Yeah,
his worst nightmare.
And then he'd call him a fat ass and be like, "You are a piece of shit."
So
yeah, that's why I'm always a Stone Cold guy.
While The Rock is still like probably one of the more likable people in the world, I saw this and I was like, "That's too far. You've lost me, The Rock. You've entered the weird online celebrity, like John Legend, Chrissy Teigen era of I have to root a little bit against you now. You're too likable."
Yep.
So is he out of the running for your millionth follower?
Yeah.
He was he was a finalist, right?
You're right. He was one of the bounties. The Rock, I've rescinded the invitation to Club 999. You're no longer on the guest list, buddy. Sorry. We got to find somebody else to replace him with.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Rock.
I'll take nominees if anybody has one.
What's your cool throne?
My cool throne is Sam Hurd because
Bear for life.
There's a new Cocaine Bear, the Cocaine Bear movie, and it looks awesome. It's a movie about a bear that does a lot of cocaine, and that's all I know about it. And frankly, I don't want to know anything else about it. I'm just going to watch the Cocaine Bear movie about the bear that does cocaine and enjoy the hell out of it. Also, it's Ray Liotta's last role, which I have to imagine that's probably how he had it all drawn up. It's like, okay, you were in Goodfellas, you made a lot of great movies, but Cocaine Bear is going to be the one that sends you out.
Literally, based on a true story.
Literally translates to Joey Camasta.
It's true. It's very true.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Now I'm in. Cocaine Bear. Let's do it.
You remember the Sam Hurd story?
Yeah, of course.
How much coke did he have?
It was so much.
Like 5 kilos?
It was that, and Sam Hurd had so much coke. And remember Nate Newton had like 500 pounds of weed?
Yeah, and then he got busted like a couple months later for having like 300 pounds of weed.
All right. What was the actual amount? So he had rested. I can't remember.
The real Cocaine Bear ate 70 pounds of cocaine.
Holy shit.
That's a ton of cocaine.
It was a real story. A drug smuggling plane dropped off a 70-pound bag of cocaine, and a random black bear found it in the woods and ate all of it and got so high on cocaine and then died.
That must have been a hell of a way to go out, though.
It was probably like the most dangerous animal on earth.
Yeah, I'm glad that they made this movie because I've often wondered what the last hours of that bear's life would have looked like.
Big time. I can't remember. I'm trying to look it up. He was trying to buy 10 kilos of coke. I don't know if he had it or he was trying to buy it. I remember he was trying to buy like $2 million worth of drugs.
Yeah, Sam Hurd at towards the end of his career, he was like, I'd like to diversify my portfolio, and one of the options I'm looking into to grow my funds and prepare for retirement is I'd like to get into the distribution of copious amounts of cocaine.
He did the opposite of like Ozark storyline. He's like, I have a real job, legitimate job. I want to try to find a way to make it very illegal.
The opposite of going straight with everything.
Yes. All right.
Also the Joey Camasta story.
Shout out our guy Joey. I'll save everyone because I know everyone hates hearing my voice like this. I'm gonna get it better. I only have a hot seat. It's that fuck Aaron Rodgers who said he's playing on Sunday. So
this is good. This is good, Big Cat.
As long as Justin Fields plays. If Justin Fields doesn't play, then I'm really stuck because not only do I have to watch Trevor Siemian again, but the Packers are going to kill the Bears, and then everyone's going to be like, Aaron Rodgers owns you, which he does, but it wouldn't be because of fucking Justin Fields, because of Trevor Siemian.
Yeah, no, this is actually a good thing, though. This is why I asked you this on Sunday night. This is your opportunity to beat Aaron Rodgers because he kind of stinks now. The Packers
I know, but I need Justin Fields.
I know, but this will be what if this is Aaron Rodgers' last game against the Bears as a Packer and you beat him? That'd be awesome.
That was Florio just loves getting dramatic about Rodgers. He was like, as Rodgers was going to the tunnel on Sunday night, he's like, that's the last we'll see of Rodgers in this game and maybe ever.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
It could be the last time that you get to see him, and you might be able to beat him the last time, and that would be awesome.
I need Justin Fields, though. I need Justin Fields for that to be possible.
Did you see the story with Deshaun Kaiser? And they asked him about like when he got to meet Aaron Rodgers. He said the very first thing that Aaron Rodgers asked him was like, "What do you think happened on 9/11?"
Yeah,
which is
just look into it. And said, look into it.
Yeah, and then like go check out some library books.
No, I think the exact quote was, "Do you believe in 9/11?"
Yeah,
I got it right here. What? Do I believe in 9/11? Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't I? The funniest part was when he said at the end, Deshaun Kaiser said, what it ended up being was a real thought experiment where he wanted me to go back and look into the conspiracies around it, and it provoked a lot of great discussion, great conversations, and we really bonded over that. And we started to share some books and talking about some other things. We got into history and business and finance. So it was a team-building exercise.
Sure. I mean, whatever you want. I'm just shocked that he never wanted to play for Pete Carroll.
Maybe that's where he ends up.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, Billy, go ahead. Your hot seat, cool throne.
My hot seat is Liver King. The ruse is up. Liver King was... Yeah, unfortunately, it's come out that Liver King was allegedly on steroids.
Allegedly.
No.
I don't know how. I don't know how we couldn't have seen this coming.
I feel like I've been lied to. I don't want to believe that it's true. He told us. We asked him face to face.
Yeah.
And he said, what did he say? Like, yeah, I'm on PEDs, like performance, excellence, destiny.
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, I read the thing, and apparently he was spending like $50,000 a month on HGH. I don't know that much about HGH. It seems like a lot.
He was taking 3 shots a day, right?
He was spending $132K on HGH a year, and the worst thing was it wasn't working. If you looked at his blood work, his IGF levels were way too low for someone. And IGF is what HGH creates. But the craziest thing, this is his exact stack. And the way we know this is Derek from More Plates, More Dates, a really fascinating YouTube channel.
Wait, say it again.
Derek from More Plates, More Dates.
I love it.
It's great stuff.
It's a good way to live life. If you get more plates on the bar, you get more dates. That's
I co-sign More Plates, More Dates. He's a very interesting guy.
He's a great YouTuber. If you're like trying to put on mass, he's definitely a good guy to listen to. Great Natty or Not segments. But apparently he received emails from an alleged bodybuilder advisor who Liver King had reached out to and sent his stack and blood work to. And then while reading this email, he looked back into his own emails and found that Liver King had reached out to him several years ago asking for help on a steroid cycle. So not only is it corroborated with these leaked emails, but it's from his own consultation business that Liver King reached out to him. So this is what this guy was taking. And this doesn't even make sense for bodybuilders. He was taking IGF, peptide injections, MK677, which is like a SARM, HGH, testosterone, DECA, and Winstrol. And Winstrol's interesting because that's the exact drug that Big Cat asked him if he was on Part of My Take. And he said, no, I have no idea what that compound is.
People say I take PEDs. People say I have ab implants.
Wait. Can we be honest? Like you definitely take PEDs.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna be on for the. I'll be
All right,
honest.
here we go.
I take PEDs.
Yeah.
I prioritize, execute, and dominate every fucking morning. Every morning. But let me finish
PEDs.
this.
I pray every day.
Yeah. So we both fucking take PEDs.
Here we go.
The whole world should take PEDs.
I take PEDs. I'm on Winstrol.
Don't know much a whole lot about that.
So it's crazy that
we gotta find that clip. King. We gotta make that a clip.
It's in the blog on Barstool Sports. I found that exact clip. It's crazy because he's making over $100 million a year on his supplements business.
Wait, $100 million a year?
Yeah, throughout all of his
Billy, that's cap.
No, through all of his.
No, he might be grossing. He might be grossing
$100 million.
His net worth is $1 million.
So then it's 100 million's a lot. If he was netting 100 million,
he's confirmed. Like this
is
been
dangerous when Billy starts using words like confirmed. That means that he saw 2 people tweet 100 million.
A lot of people are saying 100 million.
Yeah,
I'm not doubting Billy. That is a lot.
I think he was in revenue, not profit.
Yeah, it might be grossing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that would
was
make
the lie
sense.
worth it? It was profitable, but I kind of think it was one of those things where he was so deep and he thought he was helping so many people.
Wait. When you say was the lie worth it, you actually thought he was natural?
No, I never thought he was.
Oh, okay, all right. Because it's like one of those things that, like, I would love to actually interview like the 3 or 4 dudes right now whose hearts are broken, who are like, how could this be possible?
I feel like you're in that camp, Billy, a little bit.
No. If you look at my blog that I put in the blog where his steroid allegations got revealed, I've always said this guy's definitely on steroids.
If we could find, I don't know how we could do it. If someone knows, it would have to be an AWL has a friend who's like heartbroken about this. Email pmtintern at gmail.com. Like, I would love to talk to a guy who's like, yeah, I followed the tenets. I touched a tree every day. I ate liver supplements. How could he do this?
So
and preferably the guy is also fat. And he's like, I followed all the tenets and nothing changed in my life. Now I understand why.
So when I went to Times Square to his like meet and greet where I simulated hunted him, there were tons of dudes like that. They were like reciting the 9 tenets word by word to him. And it was crazy. But I think he thought like he was just so Messiah complex into thinking he was saving people's lives that he just like thought the means justify the ends.
Yeah.
The ends justify them. Yeah, whatever. But the point is, like, as far as I'm concerned, I think that Liver King is still fine. I like Liver King. I don't think that he's really harming anybody. And frankly, until I see more proof, I remain skeptical that he was doing steroids.
I do think that he probably is harming some people because he is telling people how to live their life and following all these things, and you'll look like him when not being truthful about what he's actually taking. If he just says like, yeah, guys, I'm 50 years old. Like, it's pretty hard for me to get it up, like, get it up still. Like, I needed this stuff to, like, come back. Like, if he basically does I was injured and I want to get back with the team real fast. Like, if he does that, I'll take him back. I'll be like, fuck it, dude. Like, at least you're honest now. But if he keeps pretending he's not doing it, he's a piece of shit.
The problem I have is if you were cheating, if you were taking all these steroids, do you really still have to do the Musk thing and not shower?
Right.
That's the part that puts it over the top. It's like if you're going to be taking $100,000 worth of steroids a year, you can use deodorant. That's fine.
Right. And you could take a shower, please.
I still like Liver King though, for the record.
Yeah,
right. Billy, who's your cool throne?
My cool throne. We went over Aaron Rodgers. Monks. So there's tons of monks in Thailand who have been kicked out of the monastery because they're all doing meth, and they've been stealing cars. And turns out this whole monastery was sort of like a meth house for all these monks. So one local who commented on the monks' crimes while on meth said, "He stole my gold Nissan Navara. I left it in the parking lot with the keys in. I was shocked, so I chased after him with another monk in the car for about 20 kilometers, but the monk was going too fast like a race car." So these monks were wreaking havoc on the village that their monastery was looking over, and they've all been sent to rehab and kicked out of the monastery for meth.
Monk Meth House sounds like just another good movie in the same vein as Cocaine Bear.
I'd watch that. Yes, agreed. Jake, wrap us up.
Yeah, so my hot seat, one of them is myself because I owe the AWLs an F-bomb for missing in last week's flex, so I got to make that up to him right now.
Well,
shout out to what?
Tune into the Kevin O'Connell interview.
Yeah, that's true, but I tweeted out during the Black Friday sale that if you send me your receipt, I would shout out Rupert Pupkin. He's the fucking best. Thanks for supporting our Black Friday sale. 7-time AWL, so congrats to you.
So now we have 2 F-bombs in one Pardon My Take episode from you, Jake.
Buy one, get one free.
Slippery slope.
I know. But my real hot seat is, unfortunately, us golf fans, because Tiger Woods withdrew from the Hero World Challenge today. He said he can hit the golf ball, whatever shot you want. He just can't walk. That's not ideal.
Same.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
Yeah. That's a good – you should use that pull quote, but
Yeah.
you said it. Like the
hey,
Michael
listen,
Squat.
guys,
I can hit the golf ball, hit whatever shot you want. I just can't walk.
We should just let Tiger Woods use a golf cart.
Also,
Who says
what I
no to
was
that?
thinking.
Yeah. Wasn't there that guy? Remember that guy? who had,
Casey
like,
Hampton.
He had the legs.
Yeah,
leg
Tiger
issues.
Woods should get to use a golf cart for the rest of his career. I don't care.
Yeah. No one would care.
No.
Right. He's earned that exemption.
Maybe give him a breathalyzer before he hops in, but nobody would care.
Well, pills don't always show up on a breathalyzer.
That's true. But let him drive. Let Tiger drive.
Okay.
Cars that can only go 20 miles per hour or slower.
Maybe you just stop when anyone's even close.
Well, Tiger can ride.
Yeah.
He can ride in the golf cart and then let somebody. Yeah, let John Daly drive. Make sure everybody's safe. And Tiger just sits shotgun.
Jake, I love how Jake had that, being like, "I love Tiger." And we just. Okay, Jake, your cool throne.
My cool throne is the Blake of the Year, Blake Griffin. He had a sick dunk on Monday night.
Yes.
So Blake Griffin can dunk. He scored 9 points, 4 rebounds. And the Celtics are 17-4. They put up 140 on Monday night.
Yeah.
So shout out Blake.
When he dunked, I gasped audibly.
Me too.
It was an incredible. I didn't no disrespect to Blake Griffin. I didn't know he had that in him still. It was like a vintage Blake Griffin dunk.
We got to, Jake, figure out when he's coming to New York or Brooklyn. We got to have him back on in person. Okay.
Oh, Sunday.
Oh. There's
Sunday at Brooklyn.
Does he know that there's football
thing going on? So
yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Is he going to be around when there's not football on?
Yeah.
Monday, February 27th. Boom.
Okay.
Combine.
All right.
Combine
shit. All right.
We'll
figure it out. We'll figure it out.
All
right.
Day.
Let's kick it to Kevin O'Connell, Kenny Pickett, and then Guys on Chicks. Apologies again for my throat. I'm going to shut it down tomorrow if it's bad again, so that Thursday, I guarantee, Big Cat guarantee, I'll be back fully throated on Thursday.
Throat goats on his way back.
Goat.
This interview with Kevin O'Connell is going to be brought to you by Chevy. Playoff pictures are starting to emerge, but one team has already won it all. That team is Chevy, and its star player, the Silverado, is a truck with unstoppable grit and determination. According to J.D. Power, Chevy trucks have earned more new vehicle quality awards than any other brand. That's some serious hardware. Just go over to Chevy.com, learn more. Silverado, as strong and dependable as the people who drive them. For J.D. Power 2022 U.S. award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. We love Chevy here on Part of My Take. In fact, if you whisper Part of My Take into a Chevy salesman's ear, they will probably give you $100 off the truck. They will most likely give you a free tank of gas and a full cup of coffee. That's right. Go to the Chevy dealership today. Check it out. It is the best truck that I've ever seen in my life. You're going to love this truck. It's a beautiful truck. It also is extremely hardworking. It's an Alpha's truck. Check it out, Chevy.com. And now, here's Kevin O'Connell. All right, we now welcome on a very special guest, Minnesota Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell. And it should be said, just for all you out there listening at home, Big Cat is participating in this interview, but he's got a lost voice. We're trying to find it. We're working on that for tonight. So he's texted all of his questions to our darling Jake, and Jake will be asking those questions to Coach. So, Coach, thank you for joining us. We could start one of two ways, with a hard question or with an easy question. Which would you like?
Let's start with a hard question.
Hard question. Okay. Does it sting knowing that you have the worst point differential of any team in NFL history that's 9-2?
It does not. It does not sting one little bit. I just know what it does is it allows me to keep coaching these guys really hard because we know our best football is hopefully out in front of us, but we're able to have those conversations and those moments as a team where we found a way to win a lot of close games, which I also will think help us as kind of the season progresses, and hopefully we get to play some bonus ball.
Yeah, okay, Jake, do you have a question for Big Cat here?
I do. Hey, Coach, Jake Marsh, part of My Take podcast. This question is on behalf of Big Cat. A lot of media members have called your team fraudulent because you've gotten blown out twice and won a bunch of close games also because Kirk Cousins is your quarterback. What would you say to those people?
I don't say a whole lot. I think that kind of goes along with that tough question we started with. At the end of the day, we're going to hopefully put ourselves in a position to either get a chance to play against some of the teams we maybe didn't play that well against and lost football games, or we're going to be playing other good football teams like you tend to do a lot in this league at this point. Everybody seems to have certain aspects of their teams that provide challenges. But what I will say is, like I said, the close games we've won, hopefully we can call back upon, those experiences to win some close games as we progress and move forward. But it's going to be a challenge every week, especially if we're lucky enough to get in the playoffs here, which was, one of our main goal coming in this year was to try to win our division. We've put ourselves in position to try to do that. In the end, once you're able to do that, it's about playing the best possible football when it matters towards December and then on into January. So hopefully we're continuing to get better. It is what it is as far as what people will say about our team, but I know that we've got an incredibly close group. We've got, everything that you want to play winning football, I believe we have in our building, and now we just got to be able to go week in and week out and go do that.
I will give you credit, too, because the close wins, that's something that a lot of times a first-year head coach has trouble with some of those in-game situations, game management, clock management, timeout management, challenge management, things like that at the end of games. Is there anything in particular that you did to get yourself ready for being a head coach? Because we've always said, like, if we were going into being a first-year head coach, we would play a shitload of Madden over the summer just to get those reps in for, like, late-game scenarios. So is there anything in particular you did to get yourself ready for that?
Well, I think first and foremost, I brought somebody here with me, a guy named Ryan Cordell, who I had worked with before. He kind of handles a lot of our, situational prep. He helps our team throughout training camp in the spring. We do 2-minute every day. Any chance we're on the grass, we try to do a competitive, end of half, end of game type situation, and then just let the natural kind of clock scenarios and the different timeouts and things, different plays you want to run at different points of situational football. We let them kind of manifest themselves organically, so then our players have to react even in those moments we're practicing them. What I've found is when you do it like that, you're way more likely to have guys, playing in those critical moments in games with kind of a quieted mind, know what to do and know how to do it. And then just, hopefully your playmakers and your best players are at their best in those moments to help you get it done. And that's kind of how some of our wins have played out. I imagine, as you played Madden and you play some of these games, scenarios come up sometimes that you can't predict. And I think that's the hardest thing with trying to be quote unquote prepared for those moments is the preparation comes long before they ever happen. If you're in reactionary mode and everybody's kind of just wondering how things are going to go or how are we going to approach these situations, I probably haven't done my job as a coach preparing my team for those moments. And I think in the end, when those moments have come about this year, we haven't been perfect, but I think that's been a major story of our season is how we've kind of flipped the script in a lot of ways from maybe years past and found ways to win some of those games by just executing and being at our best when it's required.
And at the end of that game that you had a couple weeks ago against the Commanders, did it ever occur to you when they called that penalty on the field goal attempt, like, hey, maybe I should decline this penalty, be the bigger man in this situation, and let's let the boys decide it on the field, not have the refs decide that the Vikings are going to win this game?
Well, maybe under some different circumstances, but we did have an official tackle one of our DBs on a 47-yard touchdown. So he should
have had his head on a swivel.
He should have had his head on a swivel. But that does happen. That does tend to happen a couple times a year. I don't know the last time it's happened directly impacting a touchdown for the other side, but we overcame that, as well as some other things in that game. And ultimately, I think it was a moment where, I'll tell you what, it's never pretty in some of those situational moments when you're telling Dalvin Cook don't score from the 1 yard line. it'd be awfully nice just to punch that thing in and add 7 more points to your total and say go figure it out defense. But the right thing to do in that moment was to kill as much clock and as many timeouts of the other side as we could and make that make it less of a chance for us to possibly lose that game.
I personally would say it's a coward's move to not let the other team have the ball, but that's just me. Jake, do you have another question for Big Cat?
Yes, I do. This is on behalf of Big Cat. So, Coach, just a hypothetical. You're down by 14. You score a touchdown. Do you kick the extra point, or do you go for 2? Late in the fourth quarter.
This is one I've come around on. I think you go for 2, just because you then know exactly the circumstances that you're kind of going into games with. And I'll tell you this much: nowadays, you have to have more 2-point plays available to you than maybe I remember when I was playing, or even going back to college. I just don't remember the volume of 2-point plays you really need, because you just never know if there's a scenario where you've gone for 2 in the first half a couple times, and then all of a sudden you are in the scenario you speak of. A lot of people are now going for 2 in that moment, because now you get 2 opportunities to get those 2 points. And if you're able to get them on the first time, now you obviously know that you're 6 points down with the ability to score and win on that next extra point. Since they moved the extra point back, it's absolutely not a given anymore that's going to be an easy 1 point anyway. So I think you're going to continue to see more people go for it. Brandon Staley, Doug Peterson, I thought those were really great moves by those guys to go win the game the way they did at that point in time. And I think that as a young head coach, you're just constantly looking at situational football every single week from around the league, and how you can take those scenarios and apply it to how you would handle it with your own team, depending on the circumstance.
And there's a follow-up, another hypothetical for you. You're down by 8. It's 4th and goal from the 10. There's 3 minutes left in the game. Do you kick the field goal or go for it?
Say that one more time. Sorry. You cut out a little bit right there.
You're down by 8. It's 4th and goal from the 10-yard line. 3 minutes left in regulation. Do you kick the field goal to potentially go down by 5, or go for it?
How many timeouts do I have left?
3 timeouts.
3 timeouts.
3 timeouts. A lot of which would probably go into the feel of, how we've done, how we moved the ball, how we finished drives in that game. I would more than likely probably go for it, knowing that if we don't get it, we've got the 3 timeouts, and we do have the ability to then score. And,
Also, Coach, Tom Brady's the quarterback you're playing against, and it's the NFC Championship game, and your name's Matt LaFleur.
That scenario sounded a little too familiar when you guys brought that one up.
I mean, I think it's a valid question. I was looking through your history here as a player as well as a coach, and USA just scored. Golazo USA. Okay.
There we go.
Boys are up 1-0. Let's go. Okay, wait, I got to recenter myself. Are you the fastest NFL head coach?
I would like to think so, but I coached with a guy the last couple of years that he's got these little short strides out there in Los Angeles.
No way.
To cover a lot of ground. I'm just telling you, man. Former state football player of the year, option quarterback Sean McVay actually beat out Calvin Johnson, I think, for the player of the year in Georgia his senior year. I'll tell you what, he can move, but his problem is, the stress of being a head coach and all the success he's had, it's catching up with him. He tends to pull a groin or a hammy anytime he opens it up. So I'd like to think that I'd be a little bit more prepared to, maybe long stride him and try to get him. But I can tell you this much, there's not that other than Sean, maybe a couple other guys, I think I got a good chance.
Yeah, because we always talk about which coaches would win in a battle royale if everybody was fighting each other. And in that case, it's probably Vrabel, Dan Campbell, maybe Andy Reid if he's just like sumo style. But in terms of like a foot race, I think it's probably you. And
who else would you think would be up there? I'm trying to think.
Let's see. I still think Dan Campbell could probably move. He still looks like he mixes in like 15 minutes of cardio a day. Besides that, it's not many speedsters coaching on the sidelines in the NFL right now. Who's that?
McDaniel.
McDaniel?
No,
McDaniel good?
No, it's McVay. It's McVay if it's anybody, and I'd like to think I could maybe get him. He would tell you absolutely no chance, but he never got to see me open it up too much.
What about Cliff? You think Cliff could move it?
No, I don't think Cliff would not be. He'd be on the podium if it was only the three of us racing.
He'd be worried that the wind would mess up his hair if he was running. So he's
got enough product
to walk.
in that. Between him and McVay, they both have enough product. Their hair's not going anywhere.
Jake, you have a question for Big Cat?
Yes, via Big Cat. Coach, you opened your playing career in the NFL with the New England Patriots in 2008. With that being said, did Tom Brady ever view you as a threat, and was he open to sharing his process with you, or was it competition all the time?
No, he was great. That's one of the biggest regrets I have, not only not being able to be around Coach Belichick and Josh McDaniels a longer period of time, but Tom was phenomenal to me. He's always been really great to me, even since moving on to, playing for the Jets in the division and then getting into coaching. He's always been great to me. At that point in time, coming off of a season in 2007 where they didn't lose until their very last game, I don't know if he thought of me as much of a threat, as much as he was just focusing on continuing, the dominance he had up until that point. And then unfortunately that was the year that he tore his ACL. Matt Castle played for the majority of that year, but Tom was still around all the time and very much available. And I can't say enough about what he was like to share a quarterback room with, especially at that point in time in his career. And then obviously where he's taken it from there is one of one.
Yeah. We're always curious when new coaches get a job, whether or not they're a ping pong table guy. If you're a guy that takes the ping pong table out of the locker room, if you're a guy that moves the ping pong table into the locker room, build cohesiveness, where do we stand on ping pong tables?
You know what? Where I stand on it is if the players and our leadership want to have a ping pong table, they can have a ping pong table. I think it goes so much beyond that. I think culture in a building and a winning culture should be able to overcome things like ping pong tables and anything else like that. If you're building it the right way and these guys want to be in the building, outside of the required time that they're required to be here, whatever it is that gets them to come together as a group, I think is a positive. I just think across the board in this league, with just all the different variations and types of personalities and backgrounds, there's still something so unique to me about an NFL locker room. And when it has that feeling and that close-knit group like I know our guys have downstairs, there's really nothing like it. And I know you speak to a lot of players that move on, and no matter what they do in their next career, even as a coach, you never quite feel that same feeling of just being part of an NFL locker room. It truly is one of when it's right and when it's been built the right way and you got the right kind of guys, there's really nothing like it.
Yep. Jake, you have a question?
Yes, Coach, this is on behalf of Big Cat. Is Justin Fields the most dynamic player you've ever had to game plan against? And if the answer is no, why do you insist on lying?
I'll tell you what, he's a special player. There's a lot of really talented quarterbacks in our league that affect the game so many ways. But I can just tell you, this goes back to I got a chance to watch a spring practice before the Ohio State Pro Day. That might have been back in 2019. And I just remember watching him walk on the field, just the size, the athleticism, the ability to throw the football. I knew he was an NFL quarterback the first time I saw him, even going into that next season when he obviously had such a special year. And he's carried that over. I think that, Coach Eberflus and those guys in Chicago are doing a great job with him and putting him in an offense where I just think he's going to continue to get better and grow as a player. You can tell the guys on the team absolutely love playing with him and what he means to that team. It's something I think a lot about because I think he's going to be, a franchise-changing quarterback for that organization and something we're going to have to deal with 2 times a year for hopefully a long time if I get to be the head coach of this team for a long time. So can't say enough good things about where he's at and his development this year, and I think he's only going to get better.
So The answer is yes, he is the toughest guy to game plan against. Thank you.
The answer is he's a very, very good player.
You know who another very, very good player is, somebody that we love very deeply on the show and have a tremendous amount of respect for, is your quarterback, Kirk Cousins. And there was a moment after the Thanksgiving game where you made a comment, I think it was in the locker room, you were saying how 7:30 p.m. This is a primetime game. Let's give a game ball to Kirk Cousins. Great job, Kirk. How do you go about game planning with Kirk Cousins? Are there things that you can do during the week to simulate the fact that the game's going to be played later on at night versus being the new nightmare when he takes the field in the early slate?
No, I think it's just every game is its own, and regardless of when you play, what time of day, I think playing at home, obviously at US Bank Stadium, I think we got one of the best home atmospheres in the whole NFL, in the whole league. Sometimes those primetime games are going to be on the road in tough environments, and it's your entire team having to play well and play a real clean football game to give yourselves a chance to win those games. And when sometimes that doesn't happen, it tends to fall on the quarterback's plate. And I think it was just a moment the other night. Let's not forget 4 days off after not playing even close to the level that has become what I believe is where we're heading as a football team. We didn't play well. We had 4 days to kind of, ask a lot of questions, look inward, and try to be at our best against a really good, well-coached football team. And love the way our team responded, but that was spearheaded by our quarterback, and he deserved every bit of not only that turkey leg, but the game ball he got right afterwards.
Now, did you notice that in the game against the Bills, when they did the old Buddy Ryan Polish goal line defense, when they put 12 guys on the field when you were trying to get in, do you think that was intentional? Because I think it was, because it makes a lot of sense to try to get away with having 12 men on the field. If you get away with it, then you get away with it, and if you get called for a penalty, then it's like a yard and a half distance that they take away from you. Do you think that they were doing that intentionally?
You know what? I hadn't thought about that, but considering it was a time when I could not throw a challenge flag, it was up to the replay official up top, or possibly New York to stop the game and try to count them up. It definitely is possible that the staff there was thinking that it was maybe a time you could try to manipulate the circumstances of the game. But I can tell you, I'm still searching long and hard for a run that we like when there's 12 guys on the field to try to stop the 10 guys you got blocking, especially when you're handing the ball off to Dalvin Cook and your quarterback's not going to have a chance to run it himself. So that was a tough down. That was a tough sequence. I would have loved to be able to end that game by scoring a touchdown, but how about Patrick Peterson finishing it with a pick and helping us get a huge win.
Mm-hmm. Jake, you have another question?
Yeah, Coach, when you're on the sidelines, do you ever say in the headset, fuck it, I don't have a play, just find Justin Jefferson because he will make a play?
Well, those exact words weren't exactly maybe what I was thinking on that 4th and 18, but my mind went to where's the best place to put him? How do I try to find a one-on-one when I know there's more than likely going to be multiple defenders around him responsible for him? But I did tell Kirk what I was thinking with that play call and to give him a chance in that moment. But that was as close, to me ever phrasing something like that in my mind at that point in time. That was probably as close as I've been 4th and 18, with the game on the line.
It's a good play, honestly. Like, he's down there somewhere. Just throw it up. I don't know how much you are familiar with the things that we've said on this show about the Vikings. We like the Vikings. I'm a big Ham fan. I love C.J. Ham. I love the fullback position. But we have agreed to get Kirk Cousins tattooed on our ass if you guys win the Super Bowl. So I don't know if that counts as bulletin board material. If you put up just a giant picture of me and Big Cat's ass in the locker room, probably the exact opposite of that. But I don't know. Like, do you like having haters out there? Do you like having people that don't believe in you, or would you rather have people saying nice things about you, the rat poison?
No, I actually think in my role, I try not to allow the good or bad to really affect the way I talk to the team. I try to make it about the game and what it's going to take to win each and every game. But it's definitely easier, when dealing with the negative things being said about your team, because you could always use it as motivation in those moments during a long 17-game season where, it definitely can't hurt to let the guys know, hey, no matter what we've accomplished this year, no matter what we've been able to build here together, you guys have taken and made all this come to life. There's still a lot of people out there that maybe don't think we've earned the right to be considered, one of the better teams in this league, regardless of our record. And the beauty of that is we get to play more football. We get more opportunities to go out and potentially be at our best and have a chance to continue our season when that time comes. So as I've told our team, a couple times, they'll be talking about us when it matters if we continue to handle our business.
Yeah, so you're welcome. So, like, your haters are your best motivators. So without us, who knows where you guys would be right now. So we'll continue to do that. We'll continue to provide some fire to your team.
I
Jake,
appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. We're happy to do it. And it's just because we want to see you succeed. That's the only reason why we do this. Jake?
Yeah, Coach, when you get blown out, does it feel like a double loss? Because personally, I count it as a double loss, and that's happened twice this year.
You know what? I can tell you, my wife always gives me a hard time because she thinks that I don't enjoy when we win. But I can tell you that winning a game in the NFL is absolutely it's great anytime you can do it. But the losses tend to have a 5 times more negative effect on you. Just food doesn't taste as good, and nothing about anything really can provide joy when you lose a football game. It is as hard as it comes to win in this league. But when you believe in your team and, not only our team here, but coming from a pretty winning organization where I had been before, the losses tend to sting a heck of a lot more. So however you want to put it, a loss is a loss, just like a win is a win. 1 point wins mean the same as a 40-point win in my mind, and the same goes for losses. I can tell you this thing is absolutely something that we take very, very seriously, and it's hard when you're not able to win a game. Did we score again?
We just scored, and then they called it offsides. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. He was onside. I like how we're all, as much crap as we give the Vikings sometimes on this show, we're Americans first and foremost, right?
That's right.
We're rooting for the boys to bring it home. This is a question or a game that we play with every guest that we have on, Coach. Do you talk to a lot of kids? I'm sure that a lot of kids want to know, have questions about football for the coach of the Vikings. So we're doing questions from a third grader. So
Yep.
This is from Mrs. Joyce's third grade class in Dripping Springs, Texas. The first question, they want to know, Coach, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is blue.
Okay, all right, good choice. And then Timmy in Mrs. Joyce's class wanted to know, when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I actually wanted to be a pro football player. And to be more specific, I wanted to be Randall Cunningham. He was my favorite player growing up, playing quarterback for the Eagles.
That's very cool. Very cool. And then Amy, she says, Coach, do you really, really trust Kirk Cousins when it comes down to it? Like, actually, you really trust that guy? Seriously?
I do, Amy. I absolutely trust Kirk Cousins, and he's continuing to. Not only he doesn't need to gain it, but he continues to show on a daily basis that he's doing everything in his power to be ready to help us win every football game we get the opportunity to play.
That's cool. They're gonna love that. Ms. Joyce's class is gonna be just tickled for that. Jake, do you have a question? Then we'll do the Roback question.
I do. This is actually the Roback
question.
question.
It is a Roback
yes.
question. Okay.
Coach, you can use code TAKE, roback.com, for 20% off your first purchase. I'm rocking the hoodie right now. They have great Q-zips, T-shirts, golf shirts. We'd like to give you a Roback performance hoodie on us. So AWLs, go to Roback, RHOBACK.com. Use code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase. Personally, I have Kirk Cousins ranked as the 16th best quarterback in the National Football League. Your thoughts?
I think that's probably a little high in my opinion, or not low enough, I should say. I don't want to get into where I believe he is, but I can tell you he's going to get the opportunity to prove. Hopefully, as the season goes on, he continues to do some of the things he's done. Maybe I'll circle back with you on that rankings. And hopefully you're wearing a nice sweatshirt like you are. It's very, very nice.
Have you unlocked him? Because that was all the talk coming into the season. It's like they're hiring Kevin O'Connell to unlock Kirk Cousins and his full potential. How unlocked is he?
I can just tell you, last Thursday was an example of him starting to master our offense and really have the ownership of it, where I think we've got a chance to be really successful as a group because of that, because of his ability to lead our group. And I think he's going to just continue to improve and bring out the best parts of our team around him. And he's got some great players around him on offense and great skilled players and a really good offensive line. When it all comes together, we can we feel very strongly about our group, and Kirk's a huge reason why.
Okay, excellent. Coach, thank you for joining us. I have one last question, and then we'll let you go. It's Kevin O'Connell. Thank you for your time, former Washington Redskins offensive coordinator. And your hat on Wikipedia, on your Wikipedia picture, you're actually still wearing your Redskins gear. Somebody needs to change that, because that's the last thing. It's the last thing I need is another reminder that a Washington assistant is somewhere else and thriving. So if somebody out there is an admin, please change that right now. This is an easy question for you, though. What's your favorite play?
Oh, man. I can tell you my favorite play, it's got to be some sort of play-action shot type of play where Kirk's turning it loose to Justin Jefferson down the field for an easy touchdown. We call them laughers here in Minnesota. When we can find a way to get a laugher, meaning somebody's wide open in the end zone, doesn't matter how far away it is. We're hunting laughers at all times here.
I kind of like that, hunting laughers. That's pretty good. And then if you win the Super Bowl, you got to make a promise, like you're going to gritty, right?
I actually told our guys that I originally said the Super Bowl, and Justin immediately started negotiating for NFC Championship game. So if we make it to that after the divisional round, I've told the guys that I'll join them. I'll join them in a gritty. I'm not going to go solo, but a group effort would be nice.
All right. Well, America's looking forward to that and to seeing Big Cat and I with Kirk Cousins' face tattooed right on our ass cheeks. So thank you for joining us, Coach. Appreciate it. And we'll have to catch up with you some other time when Big Cat has a throat.
Yeah, I would enjoy that, man. It'd be good to hear from him. But his questions were outstanding. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Thanks, Coach. Kevin O'Connell was brought to you by our awesome friends over at Mountain Dew. We are a pro Mountain Dew podcast here on Part of My Take. I think that I've tried every single flavor of Mountain Dew that exists. If I stop into a gas station, if I stop into a 7-Eleven, they've got a new flavor I've never had before, homeboy's going to get it. That's just what I do. I try every single variety. They never disappoint me. We love Mountain Dew, and they're back with a holiday hot take. They're making fruitcake cool again. Mountain Dew is celebrating the release of Mountain Dew Fruitquake by challenging the internet to share their hot takes on common holiday debates. If it's fruit nog, if it's eggnog, if it's caroling. I love eggnog. You guys know I'm a huge eggnog fan. I like it with bourbon sometimes. I like it with rum sometimes. I love eggnog. What I really like about eggnog is I like to pretend that I'm making it with mayonnaise, and then I put that out online, and then everybody gets mad at me online. It's the best. Nothing like a good holiday hot take, and Mountain Dew wants you to share your holiday hot takes. Share your most unpopular holiday-related opinions. Just tag Mountain Dew social media accounts for a chance to earn some cold Mountain Dew Fruitquake. And follow at Mountain Dew on social for more info. So all you do, if you have an unpopular holiday food take, post about it, tag Mountain Dew, and they might send you some of this Fruitquake, which I'm going to try right now. Soda review, Mountain Dew Fruitquake. Dun, 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 da, 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 da. Oh, this is awesome. You guys are going to love this. Check it out. You're going to want to get your hands on some Mountain Dew Fruitquake. Just tag them on social. Post your hottest holiday takes with Mountain Dew. And now, here's One Questions with Kenny Pickett.
All right, we now welcome on our very good friend, starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers off their Monday Night Football victory. Great game. I even tweeted, Kenny is good, because you are good. That's not a question. Kenny, thank you for joining us. My first question, very important question. Our mutual friend, our coworker, your friend, Jersey Jerry, constantly talks about how he took a shower at your house. What shower was it in your house, and how weird is that?
Yeah, so we got done golfing, and then we had like an hour before dinner, and I didn't want to go there we just golfed in the middle of the summer. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go home and shower. And then I was like, Jerry, you want to come hang out? He's like, yeah. And I was like, you can shower if you want to. You don't have to go to dinner like that. So I think he went up to the guest room and showered. And I think he left his sneakers there. And I don't think I ever gave them back. So they still might be in my parents' house right now, sitting in the garage or something.
Oh, okay. All right.
Big Cat, it's funny that you mentioned that you tweeted that, because I actually texted Jerry last night. I said, Jerry, I think I think Kenny is good.
Yeah.
And then he said he is very good. He's the future.
I said the same thing to Jerry.
This is all off the record, too. So it's like this is real conversation, guys being dudes.
It was just a simple, Kenny is good. Yeah. Like, I've seen it.
He's
We're
good. Kenny, my question for you is, I think that I've noticed that your hands look bigger. Did your hands get bigger? Or are they still growing?
Dude, let's push the narrative now. You guys started in draft process. I'll say they're hitting a growth spurt.
Yeah.
Nice.
They were really enveloping that football last night. I was like, damn, those are some that's a legit hand right there.
Some normal sized hands, man. Just going playing ball.
Yep.
Love it.
Normal sized hands.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a
Perfectly
tagline.
normal sized hands. Jake, go ahead.
Hey, Kenny, this is Jake Marsh from the Pardon My Take podcast. My question is, since you're a two-hand quarterback with gloves, when was the last time you got a blister on your hands?
Ooh.
A blister? Probably, God, that's a crazy question. Maybe baseball. I used to swing a baseball bat. Maybe I got a blister playing baseball in high school, so junior year of high school.
Wow, it's been a while. Crazy question.
Tough hands, too. Very normal, tough hands.
Yes. Yep. Okay, speaking of soft hands, Billy.
What's up, Kenny? Quick question. What happens when you throw a football without a glove on?
Oh.
I do that in the walkthrough, and everybody on the offense is just amazed at how I'm able to do it. So it's not too different, but I manage during the walkthroughs without the gloves.
Okay.
All right.
Good question.
Do you have a question?
Max,
you have
Max
a question?
has one.
Hang on.
Max, you got a question? I don't think any of us texted. You just got to ask a question off the rip. Come on, Max.
Wait, Max, I have a question.
Max, you got this.
Big Cat, can you stall for 1 second while I text it to Max?
I'll stall.
No, tell him to stall. Don't ask him to stall.
I'm asking Big Cat, not Kenny.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
no, he's telling me, and he's asking me.
Yeah.
Big Cat, can I get some Stella Blue coffee, man? I haven't tried coffee. Really,
yes.
I'm a huge coffee guy.
And that's your
I would
question.
love some Stella Blue.
All right, so that was your question.
That
yes.
is my question.
Yes. All right. Text me your address. I will have some sent to you. What type of coffee do you... Oh, I can't ask that.
We'll just take a guess.
Just text me everything you want and your address.
Okay. Well, I'm not a big coffee guy, so I'm really putting all my eggs in this
All right,
basket.
I got you.
So,
I was gonna say, do you have a coffee machine?
He probably.
Yeah.
He's an
you
NFL
send us
player.
to the facility. We got one at the facility.
Okay, all right. I got you. I'm gonna send you a bunch. Let's go. Bunch. You'll be ready to go. All right, Max. Last question.
All right, this is an important one. Does it feel better when you don't use a glove, like skin on skin?
I like the glove, man.
Okay,
I like the glove.
safe. That's safe. Yeah,
it's important.
That's why you haven't had a blister.
Ball security
for a very long time.
You get good protection in the pocket.
Not even a blister scare. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. Well, Kenny, thank you for doing this, man. We appreciate it. Good luck rest of the season, and hopefully we see you soon.
Awesome. Appreciate it, boys.
One Questions with Kenny Pickett is brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Crumble Cookies is about bringing friends, family, and fans together over a box of the best cookies in the world. These cookies are the perfect addition to a game day spread. A lot of times people forget about cookies. They forget about dessert when it comes to any sort of tailgating or game day snack atmosphere. Don't be that person. Don't forget about dessert. Crumble Cookies, it's the must-have game day dessert for any team, sport, or season. They're a personal favorite of mine. If you give them a try, I know you're going to feel the same. For lack of a better word, these cookies are life-changing. I had them a couple weeks ago, and I needed a moment. I needed some time, some privacy to myself. These cookies are that good. They will make you go into your own world. They are legit. You will be the hit of any tailgate if you're the person that brings Crumble Cookies. I'm telling you, they're that good. They use only the highest quality products and ingredients. They keep a rotating menu, so there's always something new and exciting to try. Let's get ready to crumble. Round out the savory with the sweet. Pick up a box of Crumble Cookies. Follow them at Crumble Cookies or grab some at crumblecookies.com. One Questions was also brought to you by Hooters. Guess what? Our favorite place to go watch any sport, especially World Cup soccer, is Hooters. They seriously do have the best wings. They've got a great selection of beer, great hospitality, and who doesn't love the iconic Hooters girls? They're always so friendly. You really don't get that anywhere else. What goes best with World Cup soccer? That's right, chicken wings. Hot wings, cold beer. Check out Hooters right now. Their wings are the best of the game, and the Hooters girls make it even better. If you don't feel like getting off your couch, you can order on Hooters.com and get your wings delivered.
All right, let's wrap up with guys on chicks. I sound like shit. I'm sorry again. I won't talk.
If anybody out there has a throat that Big Cat can use, a pristine throat, let us know.
I did jinx this. I jinxed it. And it's football season. Killed me. Football season killed me.
It's okay. It's a battle. You know what? It's always darkest before the dawn.
Facts.
This is the start of the championship DVD.
All right, Hank.
Hey, Big Cat, PFT.
At least I can still read.
That's a good point. Wait, can you say numbers?
Yeah, I will in a second.
Okay,
I'll guess
all
it right.
Okay.
Hey, Big Cat, PFT, Henry, Cake, William, and Batgirl. My husband loves you guys, so I'm hoping he'll listen to you. By the way, I haven't even read these first, so you never know.
It's like a freestyle.
Yeah. Since he won't pick up my hints, in 2005 he was in 7th grade. He had a terrible ATV accident, broke his face, orbital sockets really bad, had to be airlifted, have titanium plates, lucky to be alive. He claims that this was the last day he ever farted and claims it's been almost 17 years since the last time he farted.
What?
I hear him every morning in the shower rip a loud one, and he will either blame it on our 9-month-old son, blame it on a frog that got in the house, or me moving furniture. What can I do to get him to admit I know he's farted?
I believe him. I don't know why I do, but I mean, I don't know what having like a face accident has to do with your butthole, but I tend to think that I like the lie.
This is the greatest lie ever.
It's a fantastic lie.
This is like my old car, the Avalon, that got totaled because I got rear-ended. I had blown out the speakers like a year before, and when it got totaled, I went into the car place and I was like, "Yeah, when they rear-ended me, like the speakers haven't been the same since." The guy was like,
Yeah.
That's just not true.
Yeah, there's no way that works out.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I tried.
Yeah,
Give
no,
it a shot.
listen, it sounds at this point like he's so far into the lie that it's become a deep part of who he is.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of let him have this one. Guys, you know what? The modern day alpha male doesn't have a lot of things that we can do to make us feel manly, but getting away with lies is one of those things.
Speaking of alpha males, hey boys, my boyfriend of 3 years has become obsessed with his identity being stolen. About 6 months ago, his credit card was flagged for some suspicious charges, and he is convinced they got his information by going through our trash that had our mail in it. So now, before he takes the trash out, he poops in the bag to deter anyone from going through its contents. He claims this is foolproof, and anyone that opens our trash
I think it's a lie too,
will learn a hard lesson.
This guy's more of a liar than the last guy.
I keep telling him it's a ticking time bomb when the trash bag ultimately gets ripped, but he says it's just the price we pay for protecting our livelihood.
Hunter Biden should have done this to his laptop.
He's just taking a crap on it.
Yeah, this is a lie, but also a very funny idea.
Yeah, I don't hate the effort that went into writing this question.
Yeah, that's like you get credit for being a little bit interesting and different.
Yeah, pooping in the trash. It all goes to the same place.
Is that the new, now that John McAfee is dead, allegedly, should we be protecting ourselves by pooping in our trash?
I kind of like the idea that people have of, like, there's this one dude out there that's in favor of voluntary human extinction, where he's just trying to get everybody.
Oh, yeah, I saw that guy.
Yeah, he's trying to get everybody on Earth to stop fucking.
Yeah.
Probably because he just can't get laid.
He's an incel.
So he's like, we should probably all just stop having sex, but for the planet, not because I'm a loser. And so this is like maybe the next step for those guys to save the world. Like, stop flushing your turds, quit putting your shit into the ocean.
Yeah.
Just start pooping in your trash.
Yes, I like it.
Hey boys, and happy Tuesday. I have recently moved in with my boyfriend of almost 7 years and have discovered he has a horrendous drooling problem. When he sleeps, he drools so much that it leaves a terrible stench on his entire pillowcase. I avoid cuddling with him in bed because the smell makes me sick and I don't want to get fresh, wet drool on me. Every time I bring up this problem to him, we get in a fight. I've suggested some different ways to potentially stop the drooling. For example, I saw TikTok of someone taping their mouth at night or proposing that he put on a pillowcase covered his sleep.
There's a new thing. I don't know if you guys got this Instagram ad. I think it's called hostage tape, and it's supposed to make you sleep better. You put tape over your mouth, and it's crazy.
Do you cover your eyes with a blindfold?
Dude, it's fucking sleep. Have you seen it, Max?
Sleep upside down with water pouring in your nose?
It helps with snoring too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you? Oh, you're a snorer, aren't you?
I snore.
Yeah.
My girlfirend is like, you need to get this.
Yes.
So
hostage tape.
I'm a drooler. I got to admit that. Although I don't think it smells.
It definitely smells.
Yeah.
It definitely smells.
It smells. It's like your own sneezes.
It smells like chicken parm for you in your case.
What?
I don't doubt that Hank's a drooler based strictly on his yawns. That's fucking creepy. That's almost like problematic. It's so creepy.
It's so creepy.
That looks like a Balenciaga ad.
I'll see it all the time on Instagram being like, whoa, Jesus Christ. Just get a fucking sleep apnea machine.
Does your child snore? Here, put this hostage tape on them. Thanks for shopping at Balenciaga.
Also, my brain is so dumb. I probably would just die.
Yeah, you put it on you accidentally cover up your nose too with it.
Yeah.
When I was in Qatar, I was sleeping with so Donnie and I shared a bedroom because Michelangelo said that he was a snorer, and Donnie was like, "Yeah, I don't snore. Don't worry about it. We can share a bedroom." We had 2 separate beds. At about 6 o'clock in the morning, after we go to bed at like 4 a.m. that first night, I just look over at Donnie and he's a moaner. He's a sleep moaner. He's going,
nice.
Fuck you. And then I was like, yo, you know the old Hank story
Clem.
about how you went to, was it Latvia?
Latvia.
Never had met Clem in his life.
And this is his first time out of the country, right?
We're in twin beds. No, I've been out of the country, but we were in Latvia.
He had
and I was
never
with a guy
met
that I had
Clem.
never
Yeah.
met in person, and it was our first night. And he's
Doing a video, by the way, where Clem was just trying to find Porzingis' family.
yeah, it was like he sent out a tweet that was a joke, like, "Hey Dave, can I go to Latvia to like become one with Kristaps Porzingis?" And Dave was like, "Yes, Hank, you're going." And I was like, "This is fucking ridiculous." It was fun, but although the weather was miserable, it was not the best time to visit Latvia.
In January,
the very first night, and Clem is like the nicest guy in the world. Love Clem. We had a nice evening. I ate a bunch of PB&J because all the food there was trash. And then we're in bed, and he started screaming bloody murder. Like, I've never been – I think I left the hotel and, like, had to go for a walk. So I was like, I'm going to die. Like,
Yeah.
he was – and then he was like, yeah, my bad. I should have told you beforehand.
The night terrors.
Yeah, I think so.
It's crazy. Like, as you get older, your body starts to take away the one thing that's always the most peaceful part of your day, which is sleep.
Yeah.
And have you guys ever had sleep paralysis?
Yes.
Where you're in a dream
Yes.
and you can't move at all?
Yes.
It's fucking terrifying.
I think someone's like in your room and
Yeah,
you
and
can't move.
And then you start shaking because your body's
sleepwalk.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've slept walked before too. It's not yeah. Anyways, just it sounds like he's a sleep drooler. Whatever.
Yeah.
He just reinforce the fact to him that like, hey, it's disgusting to sleep in your drool. So I'm gonna have my own pillow.
Put a dog cone on his head.
Or just invite the dog into the bed.
Yeah.
And convince yourself that it's dog drool.
This
and then
girl can't
that
be
it's
a dog.
actually adorable.
There's no way this girl is
Yeah,
a dog.
she's because like if you're a dog owner, drool is just drool.
It's the best, yeah. You're fine with drool.
Dog owners and parents, like you just deal with drool all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, last one. My boyfriend wants a PS5, but I told him he better reciprocate the money spent on me or more if I get him one. He didn't like that, so now I think that shouldn't have been said. Opinions.
I think that's completely fair.
Mm-hmm.
If he's raising the gift threshold to PS5 levels, then you have every reason to ask him, what would that be, like a diamond? What do girls want that's like $4,000?
PS5s aren't that expensive, but you have to also add in the fact that you're buying something that he basically is just going to ignore you by using. That's like, so
That's
it is like there is a cost to the relationship as well.
Yeah.
You're giving him a means to you're basically giving him a means to just excuse himself from all relationship things.
You're giving him a hobby.
Yeah.
In addition to
An
spending that
addicting
extra
hobby.
money. Now, maybe you want him to have this hobby. Maybe he's spending too much time with you. In which case, that would be a very good move.
What do you say?
No.
What do you say?
I
What do you say?
anecdote. I don't really want to. I can't really tell the anecdote.
No, anecdote it.
It's an anecdote. Someone I know was telling me about how they got their boyfriend a PS5, or like they said they were going to get it for him. They were drunk. They got it for him, and then he used it all the time. But he plays on their main TV in the living room, so she can't even watch TV. And I was like, you got to have a monitor separately where it's like he can go in the room and play the PS5. And you could be on the TV. But the fact that she was like, it was the biggest mistake of my life because now I can't even watch TV and he just plays PS5 all day.
Yeah, it's bad.
That sounds awful.
Yes.
It's bad. It is really like, I can understand how our parents felt when I was a child growing up. And my dad didn't want me to have a Super Nintendo for the longest time because I was just going to take over the living room and not pay attention to him when he was telling me to do shit. It's really a terrible gift to get anybody.
It's very bad. And I think about it like when I used to play video games all the time, just how much time I used up every day playing video games.
And they turn you into a little shithead too.
Right.
Like your parents would come and be like, we need to watch television right now. You'd be like, no.
Yeah.
I just started.
I just started. Let me finish this game.
I'm in the water level.
Yeah.
But I think if there is a separate area where it's like, all right, you can go in there and then I can do my thing. Like there is some level of that where it's like maybe you're hanging out too much and it's good to have some separation. But if it's going to be like in your living room and it's just going to take up your whole house, like that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good questions. before we do numbers. Hank, have you ever gotten it?
No.
Okay. Jake, you have a list of all the people who bought something on Cyber Monday. Thank you to everyone who supported us. How many emails did you get?
I'm going through the exact number right now. It's north of 2,000.
Okay. So the only fair way we're going to do this is Jake is going to just start saying names, and PFT and I are just going to pick the name that we most want to have guess this number.
But I got to look at each email to see if they set a number. So they might start on Friday.
Yeah, Friday's when they'll start.
Okay.
We'll pick the name right now. Friday's when they'll officially start. And the rule is if they get it before Hank, they get $5,000.
Okay. So I'm just going to rattle them off. You guys tell me when to stop.
Yes.
I just went to the middle of the submission list.
Okay.
Apologies if I mispronounce your name. Anthony Briggs.
No.
I just go with first name.
Go first name. Sorry, Anthony Briggs. You just got doxed, bro.
Nice name.
Bitch.
Okay. John, Tyler, Jackson, Michael, Jack, Spencer, Sebastian, Joey, Johanna.
Hold on, Sebastian.
Slow down.
Jesus Christ.
I don't hate Sebastian.
I don't hate Sebastian.
That's got my vote for right now. But let's hear a few
keep going.
more.
We'll have some more.
Okay. Joey, Johanna, Jared, Sam, Kevin, Darcy, Sam, Jake, Jackson, Evan, Frank, Jose, John, Tito, Devin,
Tito.
Tito and Jose.
This sucks for everyone who's like who
Yeah,
bought
it's a normal
something and their
name.
name is like Kevin or or Ben.
So
Fuck.
We'll start Tito, but keep going.
Yeah, Sebastian or Tito.
I also like Jose up there too.
Okay.
No way, Jose.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Sebastian, Tito. Okay. Devin, Dante, Katie, Tyson, Tyler, Carlin, Ed, Brady, Andrew, Brian, Jones, Savannah, Matthew, Logan, Victor, Jackson, Will, Tom, Patrick, Ben, Colton with a K, Andrew, Austin, Sam.
Colton with a K, no. He's just going to end up being like a middle reliever for the A's.
Victor would be a good one just if he beat Hank.
Yeah. Okay, keep going.
Josh, Pete, Benjamin, Brian, Wyatt, Jonathan, Jasper, Colin.
Oh,
Jasper. You don't get any Jaspers.
Did a dog buy something?
He's either a dog or he's like an extra on Yellowstone 1884.
Okay.
Colin, Matthew, Christian, Matt, Blake, Jacob, Ryan, Brian.
There's a Blake in there.
How do you spell the Brian?
Bryan.
No. If it was EN, I would have maybe done it. Bryen.
This guy's parents just cost him $5,000.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
Nah, they're not going to win anyway.
Stuart, Evan, Chris, Noah, Daniel, Tyler, Anthony, Ryan, Alex, Matt, Ryan, Anthony, Patrick, Alex, Dennis, Travis, Jamie, Noah, Chef, Timothy, Daniel, Will.
Okay, I'm just going to say I like Tito and Sebastian.
Okay.
Those are my
flip a coin for Tito and
Or
Sebastian.
should we go like 1 through 50 and
No,
51
we'll
through
just
100?
flip a coin. We'll flip a coin. I've got a coin. We know that if we ever get further into the tennis, this is not even close to a coin.
What is that?
Fucking.
It's exactly the same on both sides.
It's just a ring.
Here, we'll flip the rowback tag. Dog side up, Tito.
Okay.
White side up, Sebastian.
That didn't really flip.
I have a lens cap.
That's like the Aaron Rodgers coin flip where it didn't flip.
Yeah.
What about a weight?
It's gonna break the floor.
I have a lens cap.
All right, flip it.
Oh, yeah. I got the die from this.
1
Just
through
go
10,
odds and
11
evens.
through 20?
Yeah.
It's 1 through 20?
Yeah, it's 1 through 20.
All right,
odds
so
and evens. Tito
odds and evens.
Tito gets odds.
Okay,
Sebastian
all
gets
right.
evens.
Sebastian. Kick his ass, Seabass.
Sebastian
Wow.
is officially the guy. Did he guess a number or no?
He did not.
All right.
He bought the part of my take short sleeve hoodie.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wait, what did Tito buy?
What the fuck?
The short sleeve hoodie is a very cool hoodie, though.
It is.
Tito
but
bought the Rowback donut golf shirt.
we should have just done it on the most.
On who spent the most money,
That
yeah.
was stupid. All right, next year we'll do that. All right, Sebastian, email Jake, or Jake email Sebastian. We're going to get a number from him. I think he should just have his own number that he just picks, and that's
Can
his
he
number.
switch every show or
He can, but that's
it's up to him?
that's up to you. Have to deal with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have
I
to
know.
check the email. Now, if he doesn't send a new submission, then we're just sticking with the previous
Yes.
number.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
All
he
right.
won because his name is Sebastian.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And he won the Dungeons
die.
and Dragons die.
Yeah.
Okay, numbers. Hank, you've knocked on this.
I have not. I'm going with 4. Andy B, Ashley, Sup.
I don't like this.
I'm going to go with
JJ
17.
Okay, I'll go with 64.
20.
18.
What?
PFT is just a bad person.
If he didn't
For
do it,
17,
I would have done it.
17 is an open number, Hank. You didn't take it.
What was your number, Hank?
He took 4
Yeah.
because he's a follower. In honor of his great friend Brett
64
Favre.
is hit
Such a
3 of the
friend,
last
JJ
4
Redick.
shows.
Such a clown move to win with someone else's number.
Greatest dookie of all time. Everything is someone else's number.
No,
That's not true.
17
17's
was
mine.
your number.
25. 25.
I
is
can't
the
wait for
fourth
Sebastian
timer.
to win. If he wins, that's your money. You know that, Hank.
Little Sebastian. Is that first
I'm
timer,
paying the
Jake?
5K?
Yeah.
What?
So you're not getting the 5K.
What?
It's your money.
No, I'll pay it. We'll pay it.
It'll come out of our pockets. Don't worry about it. But you're not getting it.
Oh, well, I guess we could both win.
No. If you get beaten, then it's over for
If he
you.
beats you, it's over for you.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, you
Yes,
get
yes,
eliminated.
yes.
No.
Yeah.
That was my
Absolutely
point.
not.
Like, I'm not doing this.
Absolutely not.
Sebastian doesn't get
Absolutely
5K,
not.
and then you get it the next time. You get 5K. No.
Yes. What do you mean?
No, it doesn't work like
That's
that, Hank.
it's exactly how it works.
No,
you guys
it's
gave
a
me
race.
your word.
It's a race to win Hank's money.
No. That's insane.
You remember that TV
I have
show?
All right, fine. You know
14,
what?
I have
You know
14 shows left.
Let's not even get in. He's never going to get it.
I have
So let's
14
not even bother ourselves. We got to look. You know what, Hank? No problem. No problem.
Love you guys. When a gorilla sees another gorilla and he wants to party with him, they start broing out and they beat each other's chests.